Hello, I am Silk, and this is going to be my lip sync tutorial. Now, this tutorial is not going to be going into the I'm going to talk about the creative aspects of lip syncing, how to choose the mouth positions and things like that, but mostly it's going to be about the technical aspects of actually making the lip sync look good and natural in the show. The clip I'm using, you might have seen it in my compilation of videos I had for Anthology 2. Now, this video was actually not made for Anthology 2. It was made to be a tutorial, which I showed at Bronycon, but that was only like a 3-minute thing, and the audio was terrible. No one even heard it anyway. So this is going to be the full version. Now, what I'm going to start doing here is I'm going to show this clip.
What is that thing? That's Cerberus. He's supposed to be guarding the gates of Tartaros.
Now that's the scene I'm going to be using. You'll notice I cut a little bit out here. It was just a clip I didn't need. I'm going to be combining it with this clip from Batman.
Holy Tartars. Unholy Tartars, Robert.
It's kind of weird how they say Tartars, like Tartaros, Tartars. Maybe one of them has an accent. I'm guessing it's Tara Strong. She's Canadian. Tartaros. What it's going to look like, just putting it together vanilla, is going to look like this.
Holy Tartars. Unholy Tartars, Robert.
Now, most PMV makers starting out, they'll actually be okay with that, even though, it looks like the old dub of an American dub of an old Godzilla movie. The mouths keep moving and, not doing anything what they're saying. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do just one mouth movement and one mouth change, and then we'll extend that over here to how the whole thing looks, and then show the final. I'm not going to talk about everything that I did over here. There's just a lot of junk, but we'll get to that. Well, let's say just for an example, we want Twilight's mouth to be closed there. So what we're going to do is first we find a place in the clip where her mouth is closed. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good spot right there. So what we're going to single that out. I just copied the clip there. Now keep in mind, this is all done in Sony Vegas 11. These techniques I'm going to use, if you're using a different program, just try and copy what I'm doing. Use the approximate for whatever it is you're using, Final Cut, Premiere, or whatever. Okay, let's find that closed mouth clip. Scene, yeah, there it is. Now I'm going to single that out. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mask it. So click on the pan crop button there on the clip. Let's see, open it. And you click down here, you click on the mask. And let's zoom in on the mouth and cut it out. The closed mouth position is the easiest one to mask out by far. So this is going to go pretty quickly. And initialize tangents for all, and then click on the paths to view all the tangents, then click on the split tangent tool and split them all. I wish there was a split all tangents option in Vegas, but there has not been one. I don't think there ever will be one. Version 11 is ridiculous. They don't really... Masking Vegas is not very well supported. It's very inefficient to use, but it is incredibly precise. If you want, you have to work hard for it, but you can get some really good-looking masks, without any... as long as you're really exact about it. I'm placing, the edges very carefully here to get as much as Twilight's mouth as possible without letting any of the background bleed through. It's not too important, but, you'll find I pay attention to the little details. Like, for example, one thing you always want to do when lip syncing, well, okay, maybe not always, most of the time, is you select the path here, and you want to put a feather on it. And the very smallest feather possible, 0.1, really. What that does is, if you don't do that, when you move this clip around across the screen, you'll get an edge where the mask is, right around here, like you'll see mostly on Twilight's face. You won't be able to see in the recording, it's too small an issue, but it would be visible in the in the final. So you want to put a feather on it, and that just eliminates the edge that's visible. Okay, so we're good with that. Let's see, where did we want to put that? Yeah, there look good. Let's put it over here, and you can see it up there hovering over her face. So let's position that baby. Okay, and move it up. Masking moving things around is so weird. It goes in the on here. It goes in the opposite direction that you're moving the screen around here. So and if I want to make it go up, if I want to do very small, tiny adjustments, I'll press down, and that'll make it go up. It's weird. So it's not quite perfect like that. It's got sort of the right angle, but you've got some bleed through from the bottom out that goes over her neck. That's a bit of a problem later. Which I'm going to get into later. But we're going to take care of the part that I'm worried about by putting a small rotation on it. And again, it rotates on here in the opposite direction they're rotating here. Vegas, whatever. Okay, and that looks pretty good. I might be more careful about where I put it later if I was doing multiple frames, because it's animation, it's not static images. You adjust the mask to cover anything of the mouth that you think the mouth behind that you think doesn't belong there. What was I saying? I forget. Anyway, the mouth looks where it's going to be, in the right place. But there's also there's part of her other mouth is bleeding through in the back there. To get rid of that, we'll just move that up a layer, and we'll find a place in the clip where that area is blank. That space is blank. So, oh wait, the screen's moving there. You want it still, so that looks about good. So let's copy that out again. Find an area I liked, cut it out, or trim it, or you can do this however you want. And let's do another mask under this area, and you can probably guess where you can see where it is on this screen. So, but you can move it around later if you get it wrong. Let's just put a general square. You don't need to put a feather on this one because you're not actually moving the screen around, so there won't be any adjustment there. But yeah, you can see the mask is now covering up the mouth up here. You just got to position the mask so that it's covering up the mouth, but doesn't cover up all of Twilight like it is there. So let's point that right there. Now, normally I work on a separate screen. This is a little smaller than I'm used to, so I don't know if I'm getting it exactly right. But yeah, that looks pretty good. That is one basic frame of changing a mouth. But that's just one frame, though. The show is 23.967 frames per second, and they do so you want to edit the show in that as well, and they usually most of the time do 2 frames per mouth position, sometimes 3, sometimes 1. I like to keep it at 2 because that's the easiest to see while keeping it kind of quick. Sometimes it gets ahead, so you're gonna have to get creative with. Sometimes my mouth syncing, if I'm doing 2 frames of this position, 2 frames of this position, it kind of gets ahead. So maybe I'll skip a word or skip a syllable, set it and reset it back, and you get a generally smooth looking animation, natural. But we need to, since it's 2 frames, we need to copy this. Did I? Let's see. I'm just making sure I'm putting it over 2 other frames. Yes, I am. Okay. So we'll copy that and paste it. My screen's going a little slow here. It's going to be perhaps slowing it down. I don't know. And we'll just position this. Click the position keyframe there. And just adjust it. Just press the arrow buttons, you know, to move it up. You can see it moving up there. You want to try your best to get it in the same position that it was in the frame before. And there's a very tiny little bit of the other mouth bleeding through back behind there, so I'm going to go into the mask again and see if I can extend it a little bit to hide that without, you know, letting the hair come in. Well, doesn't really look like I can. Well, I could if I was taking more time on it, but I don't, you know, have as much time. Okay, and then we just do the same thing we did before. But we can just copy this over. If you've got a lot of, if this area on the screen is blank for, you know, a long time of the motion in this clip, then you can just use the same frame over and over to cover up the bleed through from the back mouth position. Now it is cutting off a little bit of Twilight now because she was moving forward, so we're just going to adjust that until it is correct. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, and that is just a very basic one change mouth position. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of different problems you can run into that, you know, this won't be enough to solve. Like there's something moving in the background, or the pony's turning her head. There's whole, like, hundreds of varieties of different situations that you're going to run into that you're going to have to use more layers to get rid of. So let's see, what's next? Over here we have the completed clip. Lots and lots of layers, and you know, a lot of these are just junk layers that I just used to get rid of, you know, small things I didn't like this layer here. Is just that a little piece of Spike's purple face I just moved over to cover up that little green dot you're going to see right there. You know, that was actually in the original animation. I just didn't like the way it looked. I try if I can. If I see an error, animation error that I can fix without, you know, too much effort, I'll do it. Let's see. Over here, I was working on keeping Spike's mouth closed. That took a couple layers because Spike is always his own bag of worms to lip sync. He's got so many, you know, moving, you know, parts all over his face that you don't normally notice, but you know, like the lines under his neck and his arms. And let's see, what was this layer for down here? Yeah, that's not covering up. Like that's you know, that little green dot that from his mouth that's poking out under there. That's nothing. This one just changes, you know, like it's little pieces always sticking out that you got to fix. But one thing I did here was I gave Spike a tongue for when he's saying the word holy. Now, what I did to do that was no, wait, where is that? Is that this layer? Yes, it's that layer. Okay, yeah, this I put the tongue in there by let's see, by putting in a mask over the area where the mouth was and positioning it the right way. If you know the head is staying still, you don't have to you know, position it right. But I masked out the shape of a tongue that I feel, and then I took that color and I just filled it with that color. I used a glow effect with low intensity because I actually find that works better than the color corrector. Here, you know, I just, you know, took that color, put a small intensity on it, and it keeps the, you know, tongue in there. But that's only if I don't have a natural tongue position to use for the L sound in the actual show. Let's see, and it's good for Spike. Spike, you know, just do whatever you can with him. Just bunch of layers that, you know, you're gonna have to fix. He's not the hardest character to lip sync. He's the second hardest, I say. First hardest, I'm gonna have to say, would be Chrysalis, because she has that, you know, dangly hair that, you know, covers up the mouth positions I need, and I constantly have to go into Photoshop to actually make stuff that, looks good. Oh, here's a extra tongue position I put on for Twilight. I don't really make the tongues look like they do in the show because it's just one thing. If you can if you want. This what was this layer for? Oh yeah, this layer was just up here to cover up another part of the mouth that was mouth that was bleeding through that I couldn't get rid of with the original mask. And back here, I'm just keeping her mouth closed. Each of these, I don't want to put another keyframe in there. I don't want to. I cut out each mouth position that I need individually and position it individually to as best I can. It obviously takes a long time, but in the end you get a natural looking clip that looks like it was the way it was animated in the show. So we have the finished project here.
Holy tartars! Unholy tartars, Robin.
Yeah, that was probably a terrible frame rate. I'll probably put it in at the end of the clip, so we'll see what we got. If the tutorial's too long, I'll do it again and see what we got. So I think that was anything I wanted to talk about. If you want me to do no, wait, yeah, there was one thing. When you're lip syncing, you want to keep the mouth positions that you're doing at least 3 or 4 frames ahead, or around that. Maybe not more than that. More that would be excessive. Ahead of what the words being spoken is actually said. Because if you put it right on top of it, your brain doesn't process. Your brain doesn't actually process what it's seeing and what it's hearing at the same time. So it sees something and then it applies the sound to it afterwards. So what you want to do is you want to have the mouth movements, and then you hear the sounds for it, and your brain will automatically put them together as long as the mouth movements are a couple frames ahead of what's being said. So now that is everything. Yeah, if there's any other tutorials that anyone wants, I'll consider requests. Okay.
Holy tartars! Unholy tartars, Robin.